Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today is my third update for my Eyeshadows Eyeshadows Project pen. This project really made me dig into my palettes again and I do really love them. So it's a wonderful project and I'm so happy that I started it. So now let's dive right into it and start with the first palette. So let's start with this little guy here from Catrice. It's called the 5-in-a-Box Mini Eyeshadow Palette. And if you have seen my video with the NATASHA DENONA Mini Retro Palette, I have hit pan in this one. So this beigey color here was in the project and I only used it 7 times and then I did hit pan. So this formula is very easy to hit pan on because the pen size is not very deep and the formula is very powdery. So when you put your brush inside, the shadow puffs up and it has a lot of kick up, so it's very easy to get down there. And they blend out so easily and so beautiful. I really do like the formula of these little guys here. I especially fell in love with this eyeshadow here. It's a beautiful dark chocolatey brown metallic and it's so rich and creamy. I really do like it, and also this dark matte brown here is beautiful. So this eyeshadow palette here is a true winner for me. I'm happy that it was in this project because it really made me use it a lot and try out all the eyeshadows in here. And it really made me kind of get a feeling for these eyeshadow formulas from Catrice. So I'm really happy that I have this little guy here and I'm happy that I have hit pan in it. Then next we do have the W7 On The Rocks palette. This one here is a dupe for the Subculture palette. So this palette has already been in this project in the first month, but now it was in there again. And the color I was working on is the color Cheers. It's this grayish taupey shade here, and I hope that you can see that I was able to hit pan in this one. It was also pretty easy to hit pan in this one because the formula is very, it's also very powdery, it has a lot of kick up and it's very easy to get down there. And this shade is so perfect for me for everyday use and it's a beautiful, stunning color. I love this eyeshadow. I have used it only 9 times and then I was able to hit pan in it. I have already had a pretty good dip in this eyeshadow here, so it was really easy. And I really enjoy this palette here, so I do really love the matte formula in this palette. It's a great one. So I'm happy that I have hit pan in this one here. Then the next palette is my Juvia's Place, the Juice palette, and it's this beautiful palette. I love the packaging. And this is one of my, I think this is my favorite Juvia's Place palette that I own. I only own 3 of them, but this one here is definitely my favorite because it has my color story and my colors in it. So I have worked on this silver metallic, which is called Mont Blanc. And here you can see it. I hope that you can see it. It is this eyeshadow in here and I have hit pan exactly here. It's a bit harder to see. Oh yes, I think this way you can really see it because the pen is also silver and it's a silver metallic, so it's a bit harder to see on camera, but I think you can really, yes, I think you can see it. And this one here was a pleasure to use. It's such a stunning silver metallic. It has a lot of micro glitter in it, which I do absolutely love. So I really enjoyed using it, and silvers are very easy for me to use because usually I do wear cool tones. I usually do wear cool tones for my normal everyday work life, I would say. So for work I only wear cool tone neutral looks and a silver goes very nice with it together. So I only used it 6 times and then I was able to hit pan in it, but I have used it a lot before that, so it was very easy to get down there. And I think that the pans aren't as deep as the one in the Tribe palette, but maybe it's just that this is a metallic, and in the Tribe palette that I had in my project before, it was a matte and it was so much deeper, I don't know. Or maybe it was just because I didn't really use it before, so it was just deeper because I haven't used it that much. I don't know, but this one here was way easier to hit pan in. But maybe it's because it's my color and because it's a metallic, but I don't know. But this one was really easy for me. So I was really happy to have this palette in the project because it really reminds me how much I love this palette. And if you look at the color story, I think you can really see kind of a spring color story in it because of these bright lilac and peachy corally pink colors, and then this bright green color. But if you kind of, I don't know, take out this shade in the middle, I think it's also a beautiful winter palette, because this icy pink color is so beautiful on the lid in the winter time. I have used it a lot together with my Pandit palette, and I really fell for this eyeshadow, so I want to hit pan in this one someday in the future. But this one here is so stunning, and yes, I just love this palette. Then next we do have my Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Flamboyance Flamingo palette. Oh yes, it's a very short and easy name to say. This one here has the most beautiful packaging I have ever seen in a Makeup Revolution palette. It's so gorgeous. These feathers, it's just so beautiful. I love this palette and I loved working with it. I have had the shade Inca in it, or Anka, I don't know how to say it. It's a very light peach color. So I'm just covering up the mirror, but I hope that you can see it. I have hit pan in this shade here. This one here is Inca, it's the light peach color. And this one here has a bit more orange to it. So some peachy colors are a bit more pinky, and this one here is a bit more orangey. So it's a very bright, light, almost tangerine color, and it's beautiful. I used this one a lot together with my Pandit palette because it paired so nicely together with some of the shades in there. Then I also hit 2 bonus pans this month, which makes me so happy. I hit pan in Feather, this ivory color here. I just used this one to set my eyeshadow base, and this one is a beautiful, very opaque ivory color. So it was perfect for setting my eyeshadow base or for blending out a bit deeper eyeshadow. So it was very useful and it was very easy to hit pan in this one. And then the shade down here, which is called Significant. This one here is more of like a rusty, I don't know how to explain it. It's a rusty, dirty coral. And it's only a tad bit darker than the peach color, and it has some kind of a bit of a sheen to it, so it's almost like a satin, but it works as a matte. So this is such a beautiful color. I've used it so much before, so I hit pan in this eyeshadow before I hit pan in this one, and I use them together all the time. So whenever I use this one, I also use this one, and I hit pan in this one first. So I have used this one before a lot more than this one. I think I have only used this one here one time before it was in this project. So this one was very easy to hit bonus pan in, and I do love this eyeshadow so much. I don't know what it is about this color, but it's so beautiful. I love colors that are, I don't know, a bit more grounded or a bit different and a bit more unusual. So the more unique colors where it's hard to tell if it's a coral or is it a rusty orange or is it more red toned or does it have some brown in it. So where you really have to think about how to describe the color. These are the colors I love. So this one here is so beautiful. I love it. I love this whole palette. I used Ibis a lot and also Flare. These are 2 perfect all over the lid shades for me. This one here is very sparkly and it has a lot of tiny micro glitter in it, which I love. And the shade is beautiful, so I've used this one here a lot. Then next is my Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Eyes palette. So I have just covered up the mirror again. I worked on this shade down here. It's called Icy, and it's this beautiful, as the name says, icy shimmer shadow that I worked on. It was my inner corner highlight for almost the whole month, and I used this one 14 times. It's a beautiful metallic, and I was able to hit pan in this one. It's right here, and I don't know, maybe the pans just seem to be deeper because I didn't work on this shade like on a larger scale. I just worked in this tiny corner here with a small dense brush, and I just went downward. So I think it just looks deeper, but it is the same pan size as the one in the other palette. So I'm pretty sure of that they have to be the same size. So this one here just looks like it's a bit deeper, but it's not. So I used it 14 times, and then I was down there in the pan, and then I used it several times more because I love it as an inner corner highlight. When I hit pan in the Ivory Matte eyeshadow in the other Makeup Revolution palette, I started to work on this shade here, which is called Frostbite. And again, it's just a matte ivory color. And I really want to hit pan in the next month. So this palette here is staying in the project because I started working on these two shades here. And I really want to hit pan in them in the next month. So these would be bonus pans, but they're bonus pans that I want to declare as are unofficially in this project. So I really want to hit pan in these two, but if not, it's okay because they are only bonus pans. But because I already started working on these two and also on this one here, I think I really want to hit pan in all three of them. But this one here would be very hard because this one here is a very, very light icy metallic. It's so white and so strong, just as a comparison. So you can see that this is a lot whiter and lighter, so I don't know if I can use it that much. This one was way easier because it's more like a neutrally icy tone. I don't know. This is more like a champagne color and this is more like a straight up white. So this is a lot brighter and I don't know. It's a bit stronger, so I don't know if I want to use it that much. But if I do, I want to try and hit pan in it. But these two, I think I can definitely use in the next month and I want to hit pan in these two. So this palette here is staying in the project. I do love this palette. It's a really good one. I don't use the blues a ton because, I don't know, I'm not that much into blue tones at the moment. I don't know what it is. I love greens at the moment and not blues. So maybe it's just because there are so many good green palettes coming out. And I do have a lot of them, so I really want to reach into them, but I'm just not drawn to blue eyeshadow at the moment. And so I'm not going to work on any of the blues, but these neutrally tones are beautiful and I'm going to work on them in the next month. So now I'm just going to show you some pictures or little videos that I've taken for some of the looks that I've created in the last month. I couldn't take a lot of pictures because most of the times I did my makeup and then went to work, so I didn't have a lot of time in between. But if I could take some pictures or videos, I will include them now. I think there are 3 or 4 of them. And you will see, I really loved pairing the peachy matte from the Makeup Revolution palette together with some shades from my Pandit palette from Modern Renaissance. And then I also used the very sparkly peach color on the lid. And then I topped it off with a Super Shock shadow from ColourPop, which is called Ritz. It's so stunning and so sparkly, so the very sparkly shade that you see is Ritz. And then I have created a look where I used more of the cool tones, and you can see just a normal look that I did almost every day where I used a lot of the cool tones in this project. And then I have a look where I used some of the shades in my Modern Renaissance palette and I paired it with some of the cool tone matte shades in this project, and then also I used the icy pink color from the Juvia's Place palette to top it off. So you can see how I just used all of them together. So this month was really easy to hit pan in all these eyeshadows because they worked all so well together. I could use them all together with my Pandit palette and I don't know, it just was so easy. There were my colors, so I didn't have to pressure myself to use some colors that I didn't want to. It was just easygoing and it was really a very nice month for me. So I've decided to not randomly select the eyeshadows that I'm going to work on in the next month, but that I'm going to choose them for myself because I really want to use some palettes that I haven't used in a while and that I truly love and that I love using during the holiday season. So the first one I'm going to roll in is the Sultry palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is one of my favorite palettes in my whole collection and I just love using it, but I haven't used it a lot in the last couple of months. And this is one of my favorite holiday palettes. So I just want to reach into it for the whole holiday season. So I really want to have it in this project now. I think that I know what colors I want to work on or what would be the easiest ones to hit pan in. So I think I can hit pan in Fresh and in Pearl. These two I'm pretty sure of. Then I also have a pretty good dip in Cinder, so maybe I could also hit pan in Cinder. And also in Rose Quartz. So these two I think I can hit pan in, and also these two. And then a bonus pan would be if I could hit pan in one of the matte transition shades. So in Twig or in Slate, I also want to hit pan in one of them. And I don't think that I can hit pan in one of the darker shadows because I'm not sure how much I can use them as a liner this month because I have to work a lot and I usually have no time to do a winged liner when I'm going to work. So I can just put one shade in the crease and then one on my lid and then I have to go. And I think this palette is perfect for that because it has this beautiful metallic formula. They have a lot of tiny sparkle in them and they're so beautiful for just one and done eyeshadow look. So I just put one of these shades in my crease and then one of the metallics on my lid and then I'm done. So I think this palette is just perfect for this season, for this month, and also for the 2 work weeks that lie before me. So I really think that I can make a lot of progress in this palette and I'm so happy that I can use it this month. So I really want to roll in this one here, and my goal is to hit pan in at least 4 of the eyeshadows in here. So I'm going to swatch them for you. So this is Fresh, this is Pearl, this is Cinder, and this is Rose Quartz. And then one bonus goal would be to hit pan in Twig or in Slate. So these are the shades I'm going to work on in the next month in this palette. And I want to hit pan in at least 4 eyeshadows in this palette. So this palette here is the BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis palette, and I do also want to include this palette in the project. So I only want to have 3 palettes this month to work on. So I do have the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Eyes palette, the Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and then this one here, because I haven't used this one in such a long time and it's a beautiful palette. So this is what it's looking like on the inside. It has all these beautiful sparkly champagne and bronzy colors, and I think it's perfect for the holiday season. So I really want to work on this palette. I think I'm only going to work on 2 of the eyeshadows in here because I already have 4 from the Sultry palette, so I don't want to overwhelm myself, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to work on this one here. It's called Mineral. And it's a beautiful pinky champagne color. It does have a lot of sparkle to it and it's beautiful. I think I can get a lot of use out of this eyeshadow. It's my favorite one of this palette, so it's beautiful. And then I do really love these 2 more yellowy golds as an inner corner highlight, and I haven't decided so far which one I want to work on. So I really want to use it as an inner corner highlight, and I think I just have to see which one works better, because I think this one here, so this side is supposed to be highlighters, so it's a different formula. This one here, it's called Moonscape, and this one here is a lot more textural. It has more, I don't know, it's a bit more crumbly and it has more sparkle in it. And this one here, it's called Bliss, and this one here is a lot smoother and it has more of a white base to it. So I'm going to swatch them here. So Moonscape is a bit darker and Bliss is a bit lighter. So I just have to try both of them and then see which one works better as an inner corner highlight. So this is what it's looking like. So I feel like we have a pretty holiday-esque color story here that I'm going to work on. I really didn't want to make it too hard for me this month because it's the holiday season and I just want to have fun with my makeup and didn't want to be forced to, I don't know, use a lot of pinks or blues or some colors that I just don't want to reach for in this month. So I'm just happy to stay within my neutral family this month and just work on eyeshadows that I truly love and on palettes that I haven't used in a long time. So So these 3 palettes are going to be in this project for this month, and I'm so happy to be working on them. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I know it's a bit different than last month because I didn't randomly select eyeshadow palettes, which I also do love, and I will continue it in January, but just for this month I wanted to switch it up a bit and just make it a bit easier for me and more joyful. So I really hope that you enjoy this update. Let me know what you think about the new colors I picked for this month and about the palettes. And please hit the subscribe button before you leave. I will see you in my next video. Thank you all so much for watching. I wish you all an awesome day.